As you begin to pay off debt, you're going to be amazed at how much money you have left at the end of the month. Paying off multiple debts can be overwhelming, but it's actually much easier than it seems when you implement proven strategies. As you begin to make progress, it will feel as though you're earning substantially more money. You'll be able to keep much more of what you earn instead of sending it off to the bank for a list of monthly debt payments. By using these useful tips to pay off debt quickly, chances are that you'll be debt-free much earlier than anticipated. My name is Chris, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you're interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this video is helpful. Cut up credit cards. The most important part of beginning to pay off debt is not being tempted to take on any more debt. If overspending is causing you to make unnecessary purchases and borrow more money, it might be in your best interest to cut up all of your credit cards, or at least remove them from your wallet. The average credit card holder has almost $6,000 of credit card debt, according to MoneyGeek.com, and with interest rates often reaching or exceeding 30%, this is a problem that should be addressed. Buying items on a credit card can almost feel like free money because you don't need to pay in full immediately. But once those balances start accruing interest, they become almost impossible to pay off when you make the minimum payments because the payments you're making are almost entirely made up of interest. Learn to be content. Realizing you can be content without spending money way beyond your means is a trait that will help you in many different ways. Being happy with what you have doesn't mean you're never allowed to want for something more, a nicer car, a large home, or a new phone. This is more about thinking about the cost of an item and determining just how much value it's going to provide. For example, you might want a larger home because it would be nice to have the extra space, but it's going to come with a steep price tag that will double your monthly housing costs. The new house would certainly be an improvement over your current house, but is it really worth the money required? The same thought process should be applied to other purchases like a new car. Everyone loves a brand new car, but then you'll have the payment and costs that come with it, and you might decide it's an overall net negative. Taking a look at the whole picture and weighing all pros and cons will help you make an educated decision, and you'll be less inclined to race out and spend money. You might even decide to sell some of what you have. Consider a debt repayment strategy. Implementing a strategy that will guide you through the debt payoff process is a critical step. A popular method, and one recommended by Dave Ramsey, is the debt snowball. This entails paying off your smallest debt first, like a store credit card. You'll throw all extra money towards the smallest loan by dollar amount while making minimum payments on all other larger debts. Once the smallest loan is paid in full, you'll focus on the second smallest debt and then the third smallest debt. The last debt you'll pay off will be the largest dollar amount, like a car or home mortgage. Another option is to utilize the debt avalanche, which suggests you pay down debts in an order of highest interest rate to lowest interest rate. Regardless of the balance of the loan, you'll focus on paying down the high interest debts first and pay off the low interest rate loans last. Whether you use one of these strategies or develop your own plan, having some sort of direction will help you stay on track instead of trying to pay off every debt at once. Analyze spending. Creating a budget, or at least having an understanding of your income and expenses, is a good idea at all times, but it's even more important when you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole. Having a solid understanding of your income and expenses isn't just for poor people. Rich people do this as well. You should know where your money is being spent so you can determine how to make adjustments that will help you carry out your plan. Many people are surprised at how much money they're throwing away once they keep track of exactly where it's going. Consider using the popular 50-30-20 method. Keep essential expenses, such as housing and necessities, at 50% of your income or below. Allocate 30% for wants and 20% for savings, investments, and debt paydown. You can make adjustments, but this is a good place to begin if you're wondering why you're completely broke at the end of the month. Most people who begin using a budget in one form or another feel that they've found money that otherwise would have been lost. Increase income. Simply put, a lack of money is caused by two things: spending too much money and not earning enough. Carefully analyzing spending is critical because even someone who makes $1 million per year could be broke if their spending is out of control. Increasing your income is also very important, but of course this is easier said than done. There are a few easy approaches you could take to bring in more money. These include requesting a raise at work if you feel you're being underpaid considering market rates for your position. Perhaps you haven't had a raise in many years despite extensive experience, or new hires are being paid much more for the same exact job. Or your employer's competition would pay you more money and you could change companies. Putting in a few more hours every week, whether you're an employee or have your own business, could make a huge difference in your ability to pay down debt. Furthermore, think about creating an additional income stream outside of your main job. This doesn't necessarily mean taking on another full-time job. It could simply be a couple hours per week at another job or working for yourself. Make larger payments. Paying more than the minimum payment every month will help you progress substantially towards becoming debt-free. When you make a minimum payment, it's made up of interest and principal, but when making larger payments, all the extra money could go directly towards reducing the balance. For example, if you make a regular minimum payment but add $300 to it, the $300 you added on top of the minimum payment could go directly towards reducing your debt. Just think of how long you're going to be in debt by not making larger than required payments. By only making the minimum payment required, you're going to draw the length of each loan out for its full term, which raises the cost of the loan considerably. Pay more than once per month. Making payments more often can be an extremely helpful tip when trying to pay off debt. Let's say you have an extra $50 that you're planning on applying towards your debt when you make your next payment. You could leave the money in your checking account until the next month when the bill comes due, provided it's still there. However, a common behavior is that people end up spending money that's left sitting idle, as it tends to burn a hole in their pocket. Seeing that money in your account will make you feel wealthier, and you'll subconsciously see that as extra spending money. If you have an extra $50 in your account, instead of saying to yourself, "I'll put that extra $50 towards the bill when it's due," apply it towards the loan balance right away before you end up spending it on something else. Doing so could also save you interest. Stay motivated. Paying off debt can take a long time depending on how many debts you have and how large they are. One of the keys to having a successful debt payoff journey is to stay motivated. Losing motivation halfway through could cause you to end up back at square one with a mountain of debt. Think of how your finances will look once you become debt-free, and how much money you're going to have to enjoy and invest. Focus on why you want to be debt-free and how it will make life easier and more enjoyable. Keep track of your progress as you make payments over time. In the moment, it can feel like you haven't made much progress at all, but if you zoom out and take a look at your progress over time, it will be much more apparent. Setting goals of when you'd like to have a particular debt paid off, when you'd like to become debt-free, and what will be different once accomplishing this goal will help you keep that end result in mind, and it will be much easier to stay the course. You're going to see substantially more progress towards becoming debt-free when you use these proven tips. They will require a little effort on your part, but the end result of living a life free of debt is going to have many benefits. Instead of wasting endless dollars on interest to the bank, you can begin to invest and earn interest of your own, which will give you more free time, allow you to travel, and buy things that are important to you.